game. That 182 against New England, it's gonna have to be 214 in this game for them to win. He needs to control the clock completely.
Yep.
He's gotta dominate that game for them to win. And you think about it, that 182, they only scored 14 points.
Yeah.
And New England still had a chance to really go up at times. They just didn't move the ball well.
Yeah, they couldn't.
But now,
But does a low scoring game favor Tennessee? So that's what
a
I'm
low
saying.
scoring game favors any team that's on the road.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Always. But I just feel like here's another problem. The Ravens probably got the better kick of the two.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I actually
Right.
think
You're doing the baby, right?
I like Tennessee, but I think this is a
Baby.
special teams game. Where special teams
It's
is
gonna be about field position. It's gonna be listen, for them Tennessee to win, Derrick Henry has to impose his will.
Mm-hmm.
If he imposes his will, man, it ain't gonna be close. Cause Lamar, here's the problem. What coverage you gonna play with Lamar? You can't scheme or you can't scheme and run a cover zero. You can't run like 22. You can't run like E9. You can't double team really anybody because if he is, he's gonna take off and run.
Yeah.
So you gotta what do you do? And then you got the tight ends, and the tight ends when they put their tight ends in, they're gonna change your coverage, right? So bro, it's gonna be a smash around for what? This reminds me of the old Baltimore Tennessee Titan games.
Oh, yeah,
To tell you the quick truth, I used to be a Titan fan,
Oh yeah.
right? Because Nashville is not that far from where I live, and we used to go to the games. Is when
Eddie
Steve
George
McNair.
McNair.
Steve
Eddie
McNair was
George.
my favorite player.
Eddie George.
And when he did it to McNair, that's the reason why I stopped really rocking with him. But, I mean, those were just classic smash mouth games between Baltimore and Tennessee. That was the rivalry.
Mm-hmm.
It was Baltimore and Tennessee. It wasn't even like heavy. Of course you had, Baltimore, Cleveland,
Pittsburgh.
and Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
But man, this right here
Yeah.
with Tennessee, that used to be a smash mouth football game.
Eddie George 3 yards in the
Yeah,
cloud.
bro, like hey, he had that monkey on his back till they beat him.
Yeah.
Then Tennessee came up beat him in the playoff game.
Yeah.
They had to beat him, man, but it took years for him to get his respect back. You remember when Ray Lewis snatched that ball out of his hands and ran it in for a touchdown?
Yep.
Yeah, man. So I love to see it. This is gonna be an old smash my football game, and I'm excited. Man.
Yeah. So now we got Patty Homeboy versus D Watson. So what you got, Doug?
Who we talking about?
Battle of the Black Quarterbacks,
Kansas City,
Kansas City.
Houston.
And,
This hurts my heart, right? Because again, going
You're
back,
a
I'm
quarterback.
an Eagles fan.
You're my quarterback.
But I'm an Eagles fan. I love Andy Reid.
Yeah.
But my problem with Andy Reid is he'd rather lose a game his way than win a game adjusting and doing what works, which means the running game.
Okay. But they don't have no running game.
Exactly. And
I
it's
mean,
supposed
Shady,
but
he
the
got
weather,
Shady,
they
bro.
talking about windy. He's still going to try and have Mahomes drop back 35, 40
That's
times.
the game, bro.
You can't do that. Playoffs, you got to be able to run the ball. You got to be patient. You got to be able to stick with your running game.
So you just basically
And-
made your pick. You don't believe in Andy?
I love KC, but yeah, I'm going to run.
KC at home. It's gonna be cold.
Yeah.
It's gonna
And
be
windy.
frigid.
It's going to be cold and windy.
So you got
If
Houston.
Mahomes going to use his legs,
So
if
you-
not, got to go with Houston.
You got Houston. Man, Houston defense sucks.
Houston looked horrible, but I just
Patty Homeboy.
hey,
You got Patty Homeboy going home.
look at Reed.
Reed has been
That's
a choke on.
That's going to be the problem.
He's been a choke
What is
on.
Andy
All the
Reid
division
doing?
championship.
Is he going
All
to
of
figure
it.
out a way to run the ball?
Yeah, in all the NFC championship game in Philly all these years and never got to the Super Bowl but once. Andy can choke it away. But I believe in Patty Homeboy though. I think Patty the boy's special.
He
I don't
is,
care if he
but
dropped
that
back 30
defense-
times, bro. And their defense is
And
playing
can they
better.
stop the run?
Dog, their defense has been playing ball in the second half of the season, bro. Honey Badger has changed that whole dynamic with their secondary. Dog, the D line has been playing ball. I think Patty, regardless of their running game, I think they just run enough with Shady and Damian Williams. But Patty, it's on Patty Homeboy to win this game, and I got Patty, pulling this thing out against Houston. What you got, Mr. Bolden?
That's my upset.
That's your upset.
That's my upset.
That would be a that would be an upset.
You make an interesting point about coaches because I trust Reed more than I trust O'Brien.
I hate Brian. Now, if they wouldn't have won against the Bills, boy, I would have fired that boy.
I trust Andy Reid more than I trust.
This makes sense.
And Mahomes is, when he's on and he's healthy, he's the best player in the National Football League, right? So to me, I think the extra week off helped him. I know he had that issue with his knee earlier in the year where his kneecap moved. But
That boy came back on.
Yeah.
No, when you I guess when you got NFL trainers and all, no man, the average cat man, you out
But
here.
they said because he was double jointed or whatever.
No, you out
Oh,
here,
yeah,
boy.
but
died.
he got some voodoo going on.
What happened to Chris dead?
That boy
Chris is
kneecap.
dead.
Oh, you saw that injury, dog. Not to cut you off, but dog, that boy knee looked bad.
Oh
dog.
yeah.
I'm like, them boy, dog. They were trying to. That was the playoffs. He would have played that next week.
Nah.
But yeah, go ahead, Chris.
Nah, but KC's at home also, and Arrowhead's a tough place to get a
Nah, it's
victory.
tough, dog.
Um,
Listen, my boy went to a game from home, and he's in Deming, right?
right.
And I think it was the Broncos and KC.
Mm-hmm.
So he said they stand up the whole entire game.
Yeah, no.
Dog, he said nobody sits in KC.
Nah, I'm straight.
Dog, he said,
That's
I was like, dog, for real? Dog, he's like, dog, they stand up the whole entire game. So get your pro
And,
walkers.
now the KC can be run on. They can be run on.
Yeah.
But that's not a. I don't think
That's not a recipe to be.
Yeah, I don't think
home.
I don't think there's enough holes in the defense in the defense on the drive. I don't think there's enough holes for Houston to take advantage of. Yeah, I don't think they'll be exploited.
You don't
I got
think you don't think
I
Watson
got-
will make enough plays?
No, and Bill O'Brien with these decisions, man. Some of the worst,
But you didn't see the one. And it's
some
a
of
bad
the worst
decision.
coaching, some of the worst coaching ever,
Mm-hmm.
right? Was in that game last week,
Yeah.
featuring the Houston Texans. So I'm going with Casey.
Yeah, I don't believe in O'Brien either.
Hey James, you wanna be a part of the show?
Hey, JD.
Yes. Big Blame James.
I'm
You
Big
know,
Blame James. You should get you a nickname, dog. Big Blame James. But yeah, dog, I don't trust O'Brien either, dog.
Yeah.
Like they got a lot. Deshaun, no, you don't go get that boy in the offensive line.
Because if they lose last week, Bill O'Brien might have got fired.
I would have.
Yeah.
I think I would have, but I just don't believe he don't make the adjustments. He made dumb decisions. And when you going up against Kansas City, you know Andy Reid's a well-coached team. They're not gonna beat themselves. And to go to Arrowhead, you gotta play a perfect game. A perfect game. Like I said, that D line is gonna be coming after Watson. Watson gonna have to be running for his life.
Yeah.
What?
No, yeah.
But they don't have nobody to stop D Hop
High
either.
leverage
Huh?
Duke Johnson.
Duke is
He's
underrated.
getting
I
more
like Duke.
reps.
I like Duke.
Watch.
I like
Little
Duke.
screen game, got him in the backfield running the block.
Well, thanks, Chris, for asking for me. I just had to go take care of a couple of things just a minute ago.
We understand.
Yeah, commercial
All
break.
right, that's a little commercial break that we just had.
In the show break. That's
I
what
mean,
it
this
is.
is a podcast. Y'all should get to press the button, stop it. You know what I mean? You want to, but you know.
I don't want messing us up.
Sometimes we don't tend to do that, right?
Yeah.
That's what it is.
I don't want messing up.
But it's okay. All right, so
KC Houston.
I was already there. I think KC will win the game. It will be a lot. It will be close. I don't know if Houston can expand upon the things they did earlier this season when they beat them in Arrowhead, because Deshaun Watson kind of controlled that game. But the secondary for Houston's better than it was then. The linebackers are better than it was then, and they should control the run game for Houston this time around. They didn't last time. Houston ran up and down the field on them. So that's going to be the key. Can Houston run the ball? I agree with what you guys said before. First of all, Bill O'Brien is one of the dumbest coaches I've ever seen in my life. Like, I think that between him and the coach for the Buffalo Bills, I didn't know who was going to be the biggest idiot.
I thought Bill O'Brien was point shaving. I thought he was on the
One of
game.
them went for 4th and 23. Yeah, had like a minute and 30 something, minute 40
timeouts.
seconds with 3 timeouts.
Yeah.
And went for 4th and 23. The other one went for 4th and 1 after like the 40-yard line. And I was watching the game thinking to myself, like, why would you go for it? It's 4th and 1. Like, why would you go for it at that point? I get it. Maybe you don't have no faith in your kicker, but punt it, bro. Like, I mean, like, punt the ball, play field position. Do what the coach for Tennessee did. Take a couple penalties, push yourself back a little bit, run some clock, right? Make them force them to use those
That
timeouts.
shit is smart, boy.
That was smart, bro.
You got that
Like,
from Belichick,
Vrabel got stole some stuff. So
Yeah, that's smart.
but Bill O'Brien supposed to be a Belichick guy. Clearly he didn't listen.
Yeah,
He wasn't watching.
Sometimes
He
it's
was taking
taking
off
off
after the coaching.
Because bro, I'm watching that play, saying to myself, like, why would you go for it on 4th and 1? Like, bro, like you about to get in the game. And that's when they came down and kicked the field goal and it went overtime. Made no sense at all. But okay. So I think that I'm gonna go with the better coach, and the better coach is Andy.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Andy can shoot us up in the foot sometimes.
Yeah.
He's always gonna be the greatest coach to ever coach for Philadelphia Eagles.
Oh yeah, no doubt.
And I feel like he's gonna. And this is his time to get there. Yeah, I think so.
Over Buddy Ryan? Over Dick Vermeil?
Yeah.
Over Vermeil?
You do know
Yeah.
that he went to like 4 or 5
They-
straight NFC
four,
championship
yeah.
games. Like,
They ain't won a Super Bowl. We got to one.
But he went to
Vermeil-
like 4 or 5
Vermeil
straight.
went to the Super Bowl in the 80s. They lost to the Raiders.
Yeah, but you do know that he went to like
But
4
Andy
or
Reid
5 straight
Completely
understand.
changed that
NFC,
franchise around.
NFC championship
I
games.
understand. Go ahead.
Like they were
Peterson's
they
the
were
only
coming
one
from
that ring,
Rodney.
so-
They were coming from Rodney. What was it? What's the name? Rhodes? Who was Rhodes?
Yeah.
What's his first name? Rodney
No.
Rose or what is it?
Ray Rose.
Ray
Rhodes.
Rhodes.
Ray
Yeah, they
Rhodes.
come from Ray to Andy.
Right.
So he took them back to prominence, and that's how
Rodney
Philly
Pete, a whole bunch of.
has been there with. I
Yeah,
mean,
Didn't Ray Rose go to Green Bay and go like
Defensive
11 and
coordinator
5, 10 and
side.
6, something
I don't know,
like that,
man.
and still
But I
get
know
cut?
that I just know that he ended up, cutting a lot of different things. So
Caldwell successful.
So definitely,
Detroit
so
too, but
I gotta
that's
give
a
it to him.
different
I think this is, and we can jump into the plight of the black coaches next if y'all want to, but definitely want to just say I think this is KC's. I want to say this is KC's year until they beat Baltimore.
They need
But-
to. They don't want to beat Baltimore, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I think
And that was a close game.
I think Baltimore's gonna beat this shit, but anyway. Yeah, but I just think KC's going to this game.
Patty
I'm
Homeboy.
gonna go with Pat Homeboy.
Yes,
You know, Pat Homeboy. Sometimes he worries me.
should we get into Vikings Niners?
Well, it's 7-7 right now. 30
Yeah.
seconds, and Jimmy G, porn star Jimmy ain't looking too hot right now. He threw a couple of balls in coverage that should have get picked off.
He gonna be the reason.
And that right there, if you're watching it from the big screen over there, that's what the play I'm talking about. And he just got sacked early, and they hit him. It's 3rd and 24, and they about to punt.
He the reason.
Sounds like you said Kirk is in the NFC Championship. Huh?
I think Kurt's gonna
Could
win.
be, bro.
I said before the game, I think the Vikings will win. This
So
game.
it's an all NFC North
It looks
championship?
I think the Vikings gonna win it. I wouldn't be surprised. I think the Vikings will go to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
They got talent though.
I think they'll have no reason why they shouldn't be there.
No, they got
They
talent.
took running that rock.
If
And
Kirk
then
plays,
play action
if
with
Kirk plays
Yeah.
the way he should, they have no reason. They have the running back.
Yep.
And
Receivers.
and
Two
look,
receivers.
just go back real quick. Wait, last week
Mhm.
for your playoff game, right? I told them, I said if Cook goes off,
Yeah.
If Dalvin gets hot,
if he gets hot,
It's gonna
they're
be.
gonna be a problem.
Cook
Yeah.
is-
And I said, they were like, nobody's got 100 yards against him. He didn't get 100. He had 96.
He had like 84 in the first half.
But I was like, if he gets hot, you're not going. It's gonna be a problem.
Yeah, he got
And
talent.
Minnesota gets hot, and they got Dalvin Cook toting that rock.
it's on.
As long as they got that
talent,
running
bro.
game and they can do ball
They have the
control.
defense, they
No,
have the
they got good
secondary, they got the players, they got the D line.
They got everything they need to win. It's on Kirk. Kirk
And
can't
what's
lose it.
And the thing about it is, the only thing can stop him is A-Rod, because every other quarterback in the NFC, outside of Russ and A-Rod is unproven. Them two dudes are unproven.
Yeah.
So it's gotta be a quarterback who's proven in the big spotlight, can come there and play their game, can execute. I think Minnesota, if Kirk just don't kill him,
Yeah.
if he makes the timely throws,
I agree.
they can be in the Super Bowl.
They
They
could.
got everything.
They got
They got
everything.
they got the tight end,
Yep. 2 tight ends.
3.
You got Irv Smith.
Yeah, so they got the talent.
Yeah, bro. So that game is on. We ain't gonna worry about that. So we're gonna get to our hot topic, guys. The plight of the black coaches. There's a ton of coaching openings that was this year. You know, a couple guys got interviews. Bieniemy, Marvin Lewis even got an interview. But
Yeah, good.
it's a big debate of why black coaches are not getting head coaching jobs. They always the coordinators. It's like always been the bridesmaid, never the bride. Is it that the owners don't respect black coaches from a leadership standpoint? So what's y'all talking? I know Chris, I'm gonna start with Chris. I know Chris is always talks politically correct.
Well,
Go ahead,
so
Chris.
I think, first of all, you're not gonna tell an NFL owner who to hire, right? So that's just the thing. Like they get to pick who they want in terms of personnel. But I think the rule needs to evolve. Huh?
No, go ahead.
I think the rule needs to evolve. I think the rule put in place when Art Rooney introduced it a couple of decades ago. I think it served its purpose then, but I think the rules need to evolve to whether that's you need to identify at least one minority candidate within your organization and someone from outside of the organization. I just think the rule needs to evolve. Also, there have been a couple of instances where, and this is what I don't know within the coaching fraternity, where maybe you have a conversation as a minority or an African American with another African American coach and say, hey man, for instance, Shaw at Stanford, right? Teams have kicked the tires on him over the past couple of years, and it seems like he hasn't shown a particular interest in going to the NFL. But you have a conversation and say, look man, you're in a good spot at Stanford, and we recognize that, but this is a little bit bigger than you, right? We need additional representation, the people that you hire, the opportunity that's given to you. It's about kicking the door down. So maybe there's a conversation that can be had amongst ourselves, but it seems like there's an institutional challenge that needs to be addressed on the part of the owners, where they come together and say, you know, we do have a chance to be on the right side of history. The NBA nails this, don't they? The NBA always gets this thing right.
Yep.
And the NFL always seems to be behind the 8 ball when it comes to social issues and social challenges. This being just another example of that. I would like to see a rule evolve that gets players, it gets coaches rather, an increased look, or the number of candidates increases, and or coaches are higher. The other thing is, and I add this parenthetically, is that there isn't a formal.
You said that parent who?
Right.
Parenthetically.
Can we get a dictionary word? Can
I needed to start. It's serious.
Can you spell it?
Like, you don't know what that means? Like, he had with the
There isn't a formalized process, right?
Right.
So the fact that there isn't a formalized process, I think, it contributes to the dearth of African American candidates that are vetted.
I go against what you just said at the end because it is a formalized process. That's what the Rooney Rule is supposed to be for. That's supposed to be the formalized process. And the process is supposed to be that you have to interview a minority coach before you make a decision on actually choosing a head coach.
But let me elaborate on that because I understand what you're saying. That's one rule. That's one rule that's paid attention to.
Right.
How many rounds does each candidate have to go through? Do you have to look at candidates from each side of the ball? Who goes first, right? Should a minority go first? Should a minority go last? Obviously, whenever you're doing any hiring, oftentimes you have somebody in mind. But my point is, but does it? And that's the point. It's like with our jobs, many of our jobs, there's a formalized process these companies and these organizations go through in terms of their hiring, right? And so that's what we question is, hey man, he got 3 interviews, or he got to the 3rd round. I only got to the 1st round. We have the same credentials. Why is that? And then we can point to something more tangible in terms of the gap in the hiring process. This we just go, well, he hired a guy he liked, and that's because he liked him, and he's an NFL owner, so that's what he gets to do because he owns a team. But we're not really citing a process issue. And I'd like to see the process more formalized, even if there is some formalities involved.
They're just going through
what
the
you're
motions.
saying,
It's a checkbox.
That's what I'm saying.
And I agree, but what you're saying is actually fairly difficult because being that the NFL is actually a private entity, they can analyze, based off the CBA agreement, that's what they have to formalize their process off of. So it's really up to the NFLPA to really come in and I guess whether coaches
are the coaches under
I'm not sure they're
bargained by the union?
I'm pretty sure they have their own union.
No.
Okay.
So, but it takes them to have to come to the table to have that discussion. So it's like one of those things where
it's complicated.
But it's not. Yeah. So it's not like us. So we can't use us as an example, like our jobs.
Yeah.
Because being that, like, even though you say you work for a private entity or you work for the federal government, it still has that overcast of a certain
It's still labor
laws
laws,
and regulation policies that are involved that keeps us from keeps everything at a level
protections,
right?
Yeah.
So and that's why they can be able to do what they want because what's happening is the NFL owners are defining the rules and defining the process at the same time. So when you have both, it can't be interchangeable.
Right.
Because if you're defining the rules, like, hey, I'm telling you, this is what we got to do, but at the same time, defining the process, it's also be leveraged to your favor.
Mhm.
So it's like, what are you really doing for minorities to help them? So it's scratching the ruling rule completely,
Yeah, I agree.
right?
Get rid of it.
And getting rid of it and opening it back up or doing something else is a ruling rule. It shouldn't just be sitting on coaching. It shouldn't be sitting on executives.
That's a good look too.
Right, you know what I'm
need to
saying?
expand the reach.
Because what did the coach? I mean, not the coach, but what did the new owner for the Panthers say? Oh, the guy acts like me, he looks like me, dressed like me.
He behaves
Right.
like me.
Yeah, behaves like me, comes from the same type of background I do.
Yeah.
And I mean, a black person, we really don't act like you, look
Mhm.
like you.
Yep.
We could have a
You
lot
can
of
dress
similarities.
like you, but
We can dress like we have similarities.
Yeah.
Don't think I always try to tell some of my Caucasian friends, we ain't really that different in some areas, right?
Mhm.
I may walk a little different because I grew up in a different area, different logic. But a lot of things that you think about, a lot of things that you go through your brain that on an everyday basis kind of goes through mine too. You know what I mean? I just have additional,
Yeah.
right? Being black, you have additional. There's a plus, there's more to it. But the laundry list of things you have, mine's just longer.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. So it's just one of those things. Like, I feel like you're gonna have to, it's gotta go across all
That would be
areas, right?
Yeah.
NFL organization, from an NFL standpoint, not the teams, but the NFL, the actual
Even the front office.
the league front office
Even
is
more-
very diverse,
Yeah.
right? They do have a lot of diversity involved. They don't have any diversity as far as the coaching, as far as the actual hires, as far as executive staff,
GMs.
and the GMs and all that stuff, the president, all that type of stuff, man.
Yep.
That needs to be more involved.
Yeah.
I would love to see Rick Smith get another job.
Mhm.
You know, that's your frat, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mom need to ask you about Lil Boots, how you feel about that. Before we end, you gotta give us all that. But hold on, we'll wait to the end. But Rick Smith is a guy that I think the Redskins was looking to hire.
Mhm.
They never did hire.
They promoted Doug, right?
Yeah.
They promoted Doug
Doug's
to player VP.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So play, but that's still not.
It's
He
still
make
not
he make
done.
decisions though. I mean
That's because they don't have a GM.
well, yeah, I guess so.
He
He makes
makes
decisions
And
right
Houston,
now.
now.
and Houston, the Texas has 3 GMs, right? Because they're doing that, right?
Yeah,
So
that's crazy.
but still, Bill O'Brien's making all the final decisions.
Yeah.
So we need more people in those executive decisions.
Yeah. It's
We need
bigger than
executive
coaches. It's bigger than coaches.
It's bigger than coaches.
It's beyond it. So until there's diversity within ownership, it's going to take a long time before I think one of the teams that actually got it right, the Ravens. Ozzie Newsome. You know, when you have somebody that actually earned the respect of other owners, other GMs, where they said, okay, you're an asset to this franchise. But I don't think African Americans are viewed as that at this moment.
It's
As
not
players,
you
you know,
that's
as players, yes. But
my little homie.
the NFL right now, coaching period, is the good old boys club.
It
There's
is.
nepotism. You got people. My son grew up. You know, I coached for this team.
Kyle
McGee was in.
Shanahan, for
Shanahan.
instance.
You know, you can go down the list. We don't have that. We don't have that luxury. You know, we're coming in as ex-players, and they really don't respect
And
the
not,
players.
just, not even ex-players. I mean, just you're coming in. I mean, ex-players is one side. I mean, even the guys who are not ex-players, right?
Well, no, but that's just to get you into the door as an
Oh,
ex-player.
yeah, it's
You
true.
know, so you have. I just lost his name, Leftwich. You know, you got
Yeah,
guys like
Leftwich,
that coming
yeah.
in. You know, Newsom was an ex-player.
Right.
But when you look at Tomlinson, you know,
Still somewhat of an ex-player too, because he came out of Wayne Mary.
ex-college player.
Right.
You know, not
Yeah.
necessarily an NFL, you know, no name or anything like that.
You're a coach, right?
Yeah.
You coach high school football, right?
I do.
So, to this example, to this question, what do you feel like as far as when you're leading these kids? What do you, in a leadership position that you are in, what do you feel are the qualities that helps you be successful as far as even coaching at that level?
Everyone's situation is different. So the way I approach one kid, I may not be able to approach the other kid. You know, it may turn him off, turn him away. He may quit, he may shut down. So just understanding that different aspect of coaching. But, I mean, even with us, we have our directors, you know, and they may feel, hey, you know, as an African American, I don't think you fit our program. Or the optics, you know, because we have the boosters, we have the parents,
Right,
and we don't want, you know, there's still stereotypes,
right.
you know, and so it's, okay, we don't want you coming in wearing jeans, you need to wear your khakis and a button-up shirt and this and that.
So you need to fit the standard.
Exactly,
That's
you
about
can't, you know, we think you're gonna talk to the kids differently because, you know, you don't understand our kids, you know, cause I'm at Marshall, you know.
I have no idea where it's at.
So that's in Falls Church,
Okay.
predominantly Caucasian,
Okay.
and we, for the most part, have an all-black coaching staff.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
So is winning involved?
winning is involved,
Okay.
but
How was y'all?
as far as the music, we can't play certain music, you know, and we get dinged on that.
Wow.
So it's a lot,
Yeah,
you know, and we're winning. We went to the playoffs the last 3 years,
that's good.
Okay.
you know. We got kids looking at, you know, D1 schools. We got All-Americans,
Mm-hmm.
but again, we have to fit a certain,
So it's more than just a product on the field. It's
Exactly.
a lot of different check boxes.
exactly,
Okay.
politics.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but so I agree with everybody saying, not to just to piggyback on it. Until we get somebody in ownership, like this is not gonna change, like Doug said, bro. You know, we get people in positions to make executive decisions and not be afraid of picking the best candidate, whether he black, purple, white, whatever. These interviews that they're giving now, these rule and rule, bro, you just checking the box.
Yep.
Like, dog, I would like, dog, the defensive coordinator for the 49ers get an interview. Why? He had a good year. Like, if I'm him, bro, I'm not, dog, I'm not interviewing for this job. You know you're not getting it. You're just doing it because I'm a minority. The 49ers winning. If the 49ers suck, he ain't getting no job interview. You know what I'm saying? So until we get those upper level positions, bro, and don't be afraid to make that decision and live on it. You know what I'm saying? We'll never, that rule and rule is trash. Like they just put it in just to put it in. Like it'll
please.
never, yeah, bro, just to please the African American community. Like it'll never do anything to, you know, appease people. You know, they're just checking the box. Eric Bieniemy, I think, got what, 2 interviews?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
Which
dude,
is a shame, bro, because
Yo, dude, nice.
he coached well.
he been
He's
around.
coaching well for a hot minute.
Dog,
And now he's the offensive coordinator
dog,
for Kansas City. He's
star
balling.
running back in college. Had a
And
nice
he's in
solid
Andy
NFL,
Reid
Andy
tree.
Reid tree.
And people in Andy Reid's tree
Normally are
successful.
very successful.
Yes.
Belichick's the one who struggled.
Yeah.
His tree
Yeah,
line.
Romeo
Outside of the
Canal.
greatest coach in college football.
Yeah, Romeo like dude get 2 interviews and don't get a job. Like, come on, bro.
Right.
You get to a point where now, like, dog, you turn down interviews. Like, you just doing it because I'm black. And that's what the rule and rule is. And like I said, until it's changed, bro, it'll never change.
Yeah.
Look, they gave Matt Rule, bro, what, $70 million with incentives? Come
60 with incentive.
on. Like,
7
come
years.
on. 7 years, that's what I'm saying.
7 years. So he can struggle in the
Bruh.
first 2, 3, 4, 5
Bruh,
years.
that
You're
is
not
ridiculous.
firing him anytime soon.
No, that is ridiculous.
You're going to make sure that he's successful.
No, that is ridiculous.
Right?
If that was a black coach coming from college, they probably gave him a 4-year deal, 3-year, 4-year deal.
Yeah, they're going to make sure he's successful. So he's going
Coaching,
to have to.
coaching is the only thing that, I guess, job or profession where you can fail at your job and still be in demand
It's a recycle league.
and get a better contract.
Yeah, it's a recycle league, bro.
Or do good and get cut. I.e.
Right.
Jim Caldwell. I.e.
Yeah,
Ray Rhodes.
Exactly.
exactly, bro.
You know,
You ain't winning
on
with
that
flair.
short leash.
Yeah, you ain't winning with flair. And like, Caldwell probably was the best thing Detroit probably had. Ever. Matt Patricia's struggling for 2 years. Is he going to get fired? No. You know, because he's the Belichick tree. That boy's struggling in Detroit.
Well,
bro.
you
I
just
sure
like
wish
Garrett.
Dan
Took
Quinn
Garrett.
got fired. I'll tell you that.
But I mean, look at Garrett and
I was
Dallas.
praying for that boy.
Like, how
So
long
let's
would he
say-
have been gone a long time ago.
Yeah, so look at Raheem Morris,
Mhm.
the coach. He got head coaching experience. Did decently with Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't even get an interview.
Nah.
None. Like how he not get an interview? You see what I'm saying? Like it's just things like that, bro. It's just people are gonna start turning down jobs just to prove a point. And I think that might spark.
And I think that's
More
what it is,
confident.
because there's a national association of black coaches, union as well. So I think they need to really band together and really set a precedence on what they want to do moving forward.
Yep.
Stop taking these BS jobs. Think about maybe going back down to the college ranks and get down there and start, establishing yourself and become
But
more.
the target
really
moves
product.
sometimes, right? So sometimes they go, we want an offensive coordinator, we want an offensive body coach. then the college coaches were hot this year, or at least were talked about in terms of being potential candidates for these jobs. And then you get guys who came out of nowhere, right?
Mm-hmm.
The coach that was just hired, I forget the coach that was just hired.
Judge.
Out of nowhere. It's like so you were telling us Bieniemy was the guy. You were telling us the college
Joe
coaches.
Judge.
The coaches were the guy.
And Joe
Y'all
Judge-
don't even pick the guys who you said were the guys.
Joe Judge
So
was,
it's a moving target. So how do you prepare yourself or put yourself in position to be selected or at least be a candidate? I think that's a challenge. And that's what I'm talking about being a formalized process, is that the target moves, you don't know what you don't know. Guys want to go in different directions. The other thing is you also have guys now, these owners who are relatively young billionaires, right? So stay with me, because the owner of Carolina. No.
He moving too fast, man. Stay with him, Jay.
No. So the owners in the NFL previously, and with some of the other sports franchises, these owners have evolved. It used to be that was the family business. We do football. This is what we do. We're the Rooneys. We are the Steelers. That's it.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And now you're getting new owners who have $1 billion, right? Who are billionaires rather. Who in some instances tend to be a little bit younger, and so they're rolling the dice. They think they're the smartest guy in the room. They really don't know football or the sport in which they've acquired the franchise, and they're making decisions. You remember Prokhorov, who bought the Nets. He came out of nowhere. He bought the Nets. He's like, I know what to do. We're going to win a championship in 5 years. When you got Paul Pierce and KG, and now he doesn't even own the Nets anymore. This is what I'm saying. So the owners, the face or the profile of the owners has evolved too. And how, I guess the question I'm asking is, how do you think that's influenced the coaching hires?
I think that in NBA, you're correct. If you're talking about, but we're talking about NFL, I think what you just said is totally.
Carolina just
Top of news.
So he was the minority owner of the Steelers.
I understand that, but he's a young billionaire, isn't he?
No, he's in his 60s.
60s what?
I mean, 60 years old.
Topper?
Topper?
Topper's not in 40, 30 years
He
old.
look young.
He looked younger than 60.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
fair enough. He looks younger than 60.
He's like in his
I-
50s and 60s.
I-
There is not a.
Even 50s, that's
a young-
Even
that's
if
a
he's
young
57,
billionaire.
that's young.
No, like
Young
young
from a
billionaires
standpoint.
can be. I mean, there's young billionaires and there's young millionaires and billionaires, and he's in his 60s, 50s and 60s. He's not a. He was already a minority owner of the Steelers. He's
So the owner of owner of San Francisco. He's young.
Well, they have a CEO.
He's young.
I'm not
The
sure.
York family, right?
The York family's different, and they're not that young, but they've been in the game for a very long time. They've been there for a while, so I'm not sure if it's just the awareness of it, but I mean, there's no real like super young, you know,
Yeah, it's
owners
owners
in the
never
NFL,
happened.
bro. Like,
Fair enough.
they're mostly.
I thought the owner in Carolina, he looks younger than.
No, he's in his 60s, bro. He's in the 50s or 60s. He's not and he was like, I forgot what business he was in,
Right.
but he's not like Ruben that for the 76ers.
Right.
Okay.
Right? He's not a young guy that hangs with
He's not in
you
his
know,
40s.
and knows Meat Mills and hangs
Yeah.
out and all that. Like, nah, he's not that type of dude. Like, you not hear his statement? Looks like me, dressed like me. Like, nah, that dude, like Mike,
Fair enough.
like Ruben, like this little bit. He's an owner that you would be like that hangs around there, that kicks it, hangs out.
Man, let's go to the spot.
It's totally different, bro. Like he's like I was looking at Meat Mill's Instagram. He's over there making comments. Like you're a billionaire making comments on Meat Mill's Instagram. Like, that was a funny night. Like I was just like you're like I'm like my mind. I'm looking like you know he's a billionaire.
I
Right?
stand
Like,
corrected. I stand
so
corrected.
like there's
I
no
stand
real young like that's what they need. That's what they need to trend to. That's what a
NBA
Jay-Z.
NBA
Again,
that's
the
what a
rules
that's
are
what a
stacked against new
yeah,
wannabe owners.
NBA ain't
like Steph
NFL
Curry,
ain't doing that.
old. Like those guys, they're legit. They are businessmen. I mean, I talk about the owner for Al Blank or Mrs. Benson. Those guys, they've been there for a very long time. And
Actually,
they
let me
going
rescind
nowhere.
that. Let me
And
rescind
they've
that
been
because you're right. I
very-
mean, So the Johnsons own the Jets. That's Johnson and Johnson. The Hunt family.
Yeah,
I mean, that's Hunt's ketchup.
You got
it's old institution.
it's old
You're right.
institutional money that's been
Yeah,
there for
yeah.
years.
You're right.
And-
I stand correct.
And the
I
problem
stand
is at times some of them don't understand football, right? And they're not looking at it from a football. And they may let some people let the football operation
what they do.
alone, and some don't.
I think
Right?
that's what Pittsburgh.
Like
Pittsburgh
Kraft
they do.
is craft.
craft, everything else, right? And then there's but not just that, but you got Jerry Jones who wants to be a part of the actual operational side,
He might be everything.
and you know, is in the hiring and all the decision making. So man, you got, I mean,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
got what's my man from for the Raiders? You got him, Davis,
Davis.
who's a part of a lot of the operations side as well.
But
I mean,
football was his business. You understand
well,
what I'm saying?
but his dad was
His
a football
dad.
coach.
Yeah, but
But
the Raiders
his son-
is when I say it's business. Let me redefine.
You're right. There is
It's their biggest asset. You go down
That's
the
what
list of their
they
assets.
don't have-
their football
like,
team
yeah,
is their prime
like the
asset.
Davis family. The Davis family business is the Raiders,
Right.
right?
That's
But a lot of the
right.
other those guys have built their fortunes in other areas, right?
Correct.
Now, Arthur Blank still is an own Home Depot.
He did though.
He did.
Right.
Yeah,
He was
did.
co-owner of it until he sold it. Now the business is the Falcons and it's the
big.
soccer team.
He's in something else.
They
He's
got
in
all the
something else.
stadium.
Yeah.
And so is Jerry. Like now they're making money elsewhere.
Because he was
Of
oil.
course.
But but those guys, man, listen, those guys have been, they outside of maybe Jerry, who maybe be stuff. A lot of them have been family owned, and their family have been established and gone.
Like the Ford family, Ford car
Oh
owns
man,
Detroit.
I mean, yeah. So it's yeah, brother.
You
It's,
gotta get us a black owner.
It's no- it's-
we thought we had
they
one.
need a.
They ain't got
They
no
need a
money.
big-
Paul Allen,
I mean,
Microsoft
Paul
owns.
Allen.
Yeah,
I'm
owns
not
Seahawks.
sure, and I'm not sure what happened with the Allen as far as the Seahawks.
It's
The
his-
other
I think
team.
his sister.
Yeah, I'm about to say I'm not sure who owns it for now because he passed away.
And
then,
he got
and
that
he don't-
Trailblazers.
He on the Trailblazers.
He ain't gonna
So like,
nowhere.
that's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah.
they made their fortune elsewhere. I mean, maybe they had somebody like an owner who owns for the Clippers who's still older.
Yeah.
Steve Jobs. Steve Ballmer. That is older, but still has sold himself on having more diversity in places.
Before y'all hit me on Twitter and social media, I was wrong about the
Yeah, so
the owners in the NFL.
NFL
I
still
was
is
wrong.
one network.
It's gonna always be that until we get a seat at the table.
Right.
And, cats gotta get their money up, bro. And even if they get their money up, bro, I don't think the owners gonna vote to have them.
Well, that's what happened with
black.
Puffy and those guys.
Yeah.
They came to the table and they're like, no, you have to have $1 billion to get into the door.
Yeah, and these
Okay,
NFL
and
franchises.
so let me
The
come
thing
back.
Well, Puffman, they didn't. It's not that they didn't have $1 billion.
No, at first they didn't. They had
you can have,
500 to
but
750.
you,
something like
you can
that.
have 600 million, right? But that needs to be the leading,
You gotta be
the leading asset, right? Your 600 million, that other person 500 million, and that other person 700. I mean, like 50, 60, 70 million, and then it all equate to to all that type of money.
You
man.
gotta put up that whole 600.
You gotta be liquid.
But
Yeah,
you know
but
what I'm
that's what I'm
saying?
saying.
That's
all
I
my
mean,
money.
Like you gotta take the whole, and exactly. So, and then with a Diddy, you gotta realize that's gonna be your business now.
Right.
Yeah, you're
So,
out of
the
Sean
bad
John,
boy,
you're
Yeah,
bad
Sean,
boy.
well, all that, everything else is.
Right.
is
Because
a
didn't
done
Jay-Z let for the Nets?
Yeah,
Then he's gone.
More
Right?
partnership
He's
go,
out
right?
He had
now.
a minority role. I've heard.
I think he got the
different rumors
Barclays
about that.
something. He got a piece of that
He got
Barclays.
seats down low. I
He
think
got
he
some
got a
piece
box.
He got the 44 club in that joint too.
Yeah, and he got his club in there. But
He got some.
But as
pieces
far as
in
his
the
ownership,
Yeah.
didn't he cash out?
yeah, but I don't think he was
Well, he had
as
to.
lucrative as we may have been.
He had to.
Yeah,
You're
right. And that was it. The money.
He had to because of his stake in Rock Nation,
Yeah.
and when he created the sports,
You can't.
Oh, the agency,
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
right.
It's
yeah, yeah.
conflict of interest. So you're repping players that can be playing for the organization. It gets a little messy.
Yeah.
Even though he may not necessarily have his agent, he may not have his license. The people who are working in it, if it's his entity, one of his entities, in front of Rock Nation,
Yeah,
it's an issue.
Yeah.
So it's a problem, bro. So yeah, so everything you're saying is right when it comes to the NBA, when it comes to other leagues.
Mhm.
I mean, other leagues out there, maybe even baseball still.
Good old boy network. No
Good
matter
boy
how you slice and dice it, baby.
Stop.
Consider that, yeah.
But think
So-
about it, but we don't have that cash liquid. You know what I'm saying? We got different entities, and I got, let's say, Puffle, you got Saran, Beck. Like, you need to have damn near $1 billion, like,
Yeah, you
liquid.
see that, man.
Like,
You need
liquid. Like come to the table and say, look, I don't need no investors. Yeah, I might have some minority, but I got $1 billion liquid.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Look, the Cowboys might sell for what, $5-6 billion dollars. So you
You
gotta
said-
have some bread
We
coming
gotta
out
figure
the
something
table.
We just gotta figure something else out, man. Listen, I think we can go openly in Ghana.
All black coaches.
No, we could make $1 billion on cleats out there.
Listen, I was just in Accra, Ghana for the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm trying to tell you, money can be made there.
It's nuts.
Let's come up, let's brainstorm.
Money can be made.
Yeah,
Money can be made.
we got with our circle.
I heard
Impressive
that.
nightlife.
How much does it cost?
I
to
tell
fly out
you,
there?
it's a impressive nightlife.
Yeah,
Let's make some money.
It's
2020, bro. It
It's a
ain't no
great
time
time.
like the present.
it's a good time.
It is a good time.
Let's do it. What y'all want
It's a
to
good
do?
time.
Let's make some money together.
Hey, listen, we can always go for. We gotta talk about that off camera.
All right, bet. Yeah,
I'll
so
but I'll tell you, it's a
this
good
is
time.
a fire topic, bro. What else you got? Y'all want to close anything out? What y'all want to talk about?
What's else up? What's
That's it.
else up?
That's it.
Real quick,
What you got,
Super
Chris?
Bowl participant predictions. Just no rationale. Just toss out your teams right now.
Go, Doug. Off the top of your head.
Right now, Ravens Packers.
Whew. I got KC against A-Rod.
There.
KC Packers.
Go ahead, Jim.
You go ahead, brother.
Oh, I got KC Seattle.
I ain't leaving Russ, boy.
Yeah, I believe in Russ. And Russ we trust.
I said this earlier.
What
man.
you a fan of Sierra?
It's not a bad person to be a fan of.
There you go.
Yeah.
I know I said something earlier, but be honest with you, 49ers Ravens.
49 Ravens.
I wouldn't be surprised by that.
Yeah, I think that's gonna be it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Minnesota win this game.
But yeah.
But if I had an early prediction, I think 49ers Ravens is pretty much gonna be what I'm gonna see
Yeah.
We're not on the decline.
out there in Miami.
Mhm.
Down in Miami.
South Beach.
So yeah, brother, that's it. It's already 14-7. If you don't know out there, folks, you heard it here. It's 14-7 San Francisco right now. So
It's all good.
yeah, they kind of moving the ball a little easy.
It's all good. But yeah, man, it's been a dope show. I want to thank my homeboy Chris for coming through, blessing
Thanks
us.
for having me.
Always, we always welcome you. You're the fifth brother of the Organ Brothers.
Yo, man, I'm a
Yeah,
little
okay.
rusty, man. Since I had my son, I haven't been,
But you slacking,
rusty.
dog.
Yeah,
Cause you'd have had like
rusty.
a notepad.
Yeah, I'm a little rusty.
Now you would have been on
I'm
it,
a little
dog.
rusty.
See, you know them boys get comfortable.
Freestyle.
You get comfortable.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I got my quarterback. He came through last minute. Man, Doug, I truly thank you for coming through and blessing the Organ Brothers. You did your thing, man. You welcome anytime.
Appreciate you.
You know, you don't have to have an invite. You live close. Just pull up, man.
Bet.
Yeah, it's all good. JD, welcome. Good to see you, bro. You know, glad you can, sit in my chair and represent. I like this chair, dog. This chair is pretty nice. They should let me run the podcast more.
You can run a podcast. You need to do it from your own seat.
Why?
I pay for my mic.
This mic is quality.
I pay for my mic.
Yeah.
And if you want to advance and upgrade your mic, you need to go on
Yeah,
Amazon and get it.
this is nice.
I know. It
But
sounds good
look,
too. It sounds better with my
The
voice.
2020 is gonna be a big year for the podcast, bro. We gonna up our followers. We gonna have merch. Like, we got to take it next level, bro. It's all about sacrificing.
So
So what you gotta
let me
say?
get some final thoughts here. So
Let's go.
number one, I appreciate you guys for stepping in here, man. You're always invited. It's open invitation.
Mm-hmm.
Do everything you can, jump in. We love it. We love having new people here. We're gonna create some more segments to try to have people call in. So we're gonna keep advancing. Next show, folks, we're gonna be going live. The app is named Station Head. We're gonna be going live. So if you have anything you want to call us, talk about, anything you want to jump in on, definitely do that. We're gonna be 7 callers. We're gonna be going in full fledged starting next week. So get ready. We're gonna be going live. It's gonna be a live stream podcast.
Let's go.
So just be ready, and hey, if you got something to say, if you didn't like the fact that I was chopper styling,
Hey, we hit it with the bicycle jump.
come over here and tell me how
You
you
didn't do
feel.
it right, so nobody was right.
Actually, hold up before we
I did.
go. We gotta get his input on Boosie.
Yeah,
So
Count
I was
Boosie?
I was waiting on this to be the last thought.
Hey, man.
So how did you feel about old Boosie Boo was doing
Man.
was doing his new thing? Or how you feel about
Hey,
that?
Lucy, there's a way
Was
to
you
go
upset?
about this, man. If you want
Never
to get
said
some
that.
of this, you can come get some of this. You can come get some of this. Come on in.
He thought he was gonna get love.
That's
Yeah,
why
right.
I want to put this at the end. So
Yeah.
ask you this question, because Boosie brother is a new,
Right. That's right.
right? At
That's right.
Southern, right?
Yeah. His brother is he also he throws parties in New Orleans. So
Yeah.
his brother, you know, he talks about his brother with the good route.
Yeah, he
So,
talked about his brother the good about it.
yeah.
So, do you think, and I want to ask you this, and you can go around the table, do you think the old heads called his brother and said, bruh,
Mm-hmm.
listen,
Fact.
we ain't, you know, we love Boosie, we love his music, wipe me down, we kill it,
Yeah.
but he gotta calm down. Like, go and talk to him.
How
Tell
you
him-
felt?
Tell him, hold on. Go and talk to him. Tell him, hey, listen, man, calm down. Make a little apology. You know what I mean? And we can set up something moving forward. Do you think that's what happened? His brother called him and said, bro, listen, oh, hey, because I think if it was my brother, right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And my brother was doing that, and I was in the position like you.
Mm-hmm.
I would kind of laugh at it.
Right.
Because it's my brother.
Right,
I know he's
right,
white. He's a
right.
hood. Boosie's a hood dude.
Right.
You know what I mean? We call it something else.
Yeah.
He's a hood, but we know he's a hood dude.
Trapping.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Not just that, we call it, but he's a hood
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
So you don't really take, the hood dudes do that sometimes. You just laugh at it a little bit. You don't take it that serious. So what do you think that happened? That transpired?
I'm sure.
and how
I'm
that
sure
moved forward?
it came. I'm sure
Word
it was
got
brought
sent.
to his brother's attention, and I'm sure I'm sure he had a conversation
Mhm.
with some people who were unappreciative of
Right.
of what he was doing, and simultaneously though, I think the monkey wrench in all of this is fame.
Yeah.
Fame makes things different.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So there might have been a couple of guys who were like, man, it's Boosie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And
Yeah.
hey, you
Yeah,
know,
it's
Boosie
Cowboys
just
guy.
put the Cowboys on the map real quick.
Listen,
You know,
one of my
small
boys,
price to pay. You know what I
one
mean?
of my boys did that. He
Yeah.
said that. He
Yeah.
literally was like, oh, he said, you know what? It don't matter because we just crushed the Sigma Founders Day and the J9 over now. He was like, they Founders Day over because it's all about the cap. And Boosie said, thanks, Boosie. I was laughing about it. Like, I was
That's what
like,
I'm
he
saying,
takes me there, I was dying out laughing. Like, bro. I was like, man, you okay? He's like, man, nah, we just crushed the Sigma Founders
Yeah,
Day.
the fame also makes you
Yeah.
a target though, and
Right.
makes
Yeah.
people say, and you know,
Yeah.
and other people are saying, hey man, you know, you're incorrect for that. It gives them an opportunity to stand on a particular platform
Mhm.
and reestablish what they feel is the appropriate way to go about this thing. You know what I mean? So I think there's a bunch of mixed feelings. I think Boosie it was all in fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I the fact that
Let me ask you a question. How
Yeah.
did you feel about him coming to that game? with the
at first I
Cowboys
saw the
on?
shirt. I think you sent it to me actually. Jay.
That sure
I
did.
saw the shirt.
I did it to him. I did it. I did it. I am him.
I said, hey
Me.
yo, Chris, man.
Me. I'm the Chris.
Um,
You see this?
Yeah, so at first when you said that, I didn't even pay attention to it.
You
know
did.
what I mean?
I saw it. So he didn't
Yeah.
see it yet. I said,
and then
hold on, I'm
I
gonna see it
looked
again.
closer,
Give a different angle. Give a
He
different
get the read.
angle.
He get the read on that joint.
Give a different angle. He needs to see it.
Yeah.
I said to all my boys, all the Cowboy boys. I said to everybody.
My feelings are simple. Boosie, if you wanna come on in, there's a space for you. You know what I mean? There's a space for you.
Okay.
You know, we want you to get it in a way where you can never be questioned, and there's a way to go about that. But there's a space for you. There's a slot for you. You know what I mean? So we, you know,
So he didn't cut the check?
No. It's not about the bread. I'm just saying there's a way to go about it, and there's a way to make sure that these questions that are surrounding you and your interest in being a Kappa are never asked again. You know what I mean? So I'm welcoming you with open arms, and I'm sure you'll be welcome by everyone else. And I mean, Boosie in the South, you know that we from the South. Boosie's kind of a legend in the
He's a
South.
legend. I was about to say that. He's a legend.
He's a legend in the South. You know what I mean?
He's a legend, bro.
So yeah, coming from the South and listening to his music, growing up on his music, and the influence that he had, and Boosie really came
That's why he probably
from,
get a pass.
from the ground up.
He's a street dude.
He was
He's
but
a
I mean,
real
like
street
he would really like come to a random club in a random city and perform. There'd be 30 people in the club, but the people that liked him loved him.
Yeah,
You
love
probably
him.
had this
Yeah.
experience too.
Yeah, he built up his.
Yeah, he really came from the ground up. So
And the thing is, what I didn't understand is like when people like a lot of people had issues. I'd be like, bro, like you ain't gonna run up on Boosie and punch him in the mouth.
Right.
So, cause he got cats that's gonna shoot you first
Yeah,
anyway.
you ain't
So at the
playing
end of the
no
day,
average cat, you ain't running up on him.
what you have to do is what I was saying earlier. The old heads who know his brother could probably talk to his brother and say, "We love Boosie, dog, but
Chill out.
this right here ain't something."
This is what I'm saying.
So we
There's a
need
way to go
It's
about this.
about going
There's a
about
way
it.
to go about this. Let's bring them in the appropriate way,
Right.
right? And then the questions, all that's put to the side,
Right.
and then he can really, really enjoy this and really engage in this and really indulge in this in
Right.
the way that he really wants to,
Right.
without having to concern himself with the other stuff. He sent me the
Exactly.
shimmy, the shimmy.
So my boy
Yes,
said-
yes,
Go ahead.
a question. So what's the big issue? What is the problem?
I mean, he's
It's a
he's-
T-shirt.
You know, he's repping the fraternity, but he's not a part of it.
So he can't be
But
a
he's
fan?
repping it in a way. No, he's repping it in a way that would suggest that he actually is a member.
I thought he played. I was like,
So
damn,
he
boy,
took it- he
Boosie.
That's what I'm saying. Like people were like, "Yo, it's Boosie."
Yeah, I was like, damn, the boy plays.
Yeah. So that's the thing. So but
It's
again,
like a disrespect. I probably
yeah.
should.
But again, there's a way to go about it, and he can go about it that way, and he's gonna get. I think based upon who he is and who his brother is, you know, having that come from Baton Rouge and that sort of thing. I think it'd be a great experience for him. So, you know, I invite him and encourage him to take advantage of the opportunity to have the experience and come on aboard.
Man, it's all good.
Yeah.
I got one more question though.
Yeah.
So, are you gonna be activating your shoulders so you can get that $6,000 at Boosie Bash?
Nah, I'm cool with Boosie.
Are you gonna be at Boosie Bash?
Nah, I'm cool on Boosie.
You're not gonna be at Boosie Bash.
Nah, man.
We're not gonna see you on the stage. You and your brothers trying to get that 6,000.
I got my son, so I haven't seen you since the birth of my son. So
Uh-huh.
In a minute.
that's got me occupied right
I
now. So
appreciate
if my
it.
son
I
can't get
appreciate
in,
it.
I'm
I'm
not
pretty sure he's
going.
not gonna be able to get in.
Yeah, so I'm
But
not
I just wanna know,
going. Yeah.
are you gonna activate your shoulders?
Nah.
For the Boosie Bash.
But I'm working my son's shoulders. I'm getting them tight.
Get them tight
So
for
by
it,
the time
alright?
he's of age,
Okay.
you know, it's easy.
I just look at Boosie Bash. It's coming up one of these days.
Yeah.
Probably in the spring.
Yes, sir.
So Boosie Bash say
That's
he bring him on the stage for that
That's actually a
$6,000.
great tagline.
Bruh. That is
Boosie Bash, right?
that is.
All good. It's all
I think
good.
I don't know if he drummed this publicity up.
He
on
popular
purpose,
now, bro. He probably
But
did.
man, the black community, everybody's loving this.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
probably
He
did.
thought because of the
Strategic.
colors, that was the thing. He said the colors, and he thought they would appreciate his shirt, and he would get love as opposed to the backlash that he got.
Yeah, I don't know what Boosie's thinking. I ain't
That's
gonna lie.
what he said.
He said that. I'm just.
But it's akin
But it's
to
Boosie,
what's
so-
his name who
Like-
put on the uniform at the Pelicans game and went stretched out.
Yeah,
and
like one
Yeah,
thing got on the
yeah,
floor.
yeah,
you
yeah,
just
yeah,
jump,
yeah.
you
So
jump,
it's
yeah,
not-
yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of the same.
Now he had the whole
Yeah,
uniform
yeah,
on.
Like
Yeah,
whoa.
Like,
Yeah.
like, oh, what you
Yeah.
doing?
Like when Boosie did that.
Bigums, I think is his name.
Yeah.
Uh,
I think so. Boosie did that, and you know that's one of my boy's friends. Boosie did that, but when the thing about you, what you just said, right? You like Boosie could did this, could did that. Boosie, the thing that I think everybody don't understand is when he did that is he actually somebody warned him beforehand. Like he posted.
Okay.
An old school cat said, like, yo man, yo, you may not want to wear that out. Like them dudes serious about they
Yeah.
cap and stuff. So he knew. He said, like, yeah, they must don't know who I am. So people
So he tried
told
to
him.
flex. He tried to flex.
People
That's what
told
he did.
him, like, hey man, like, yo, like, you may not want to wear that out and about because they know, like, yo, these dudes don't play about that. Like, yo, they serious about it. They don't play. They'll fuck you up over that stuff. You may not want to wear it out. So he's like, yeah, old head told me that, and he started laughing and said, they don't know who I am.
Okay.
So you knew, and you got your brother. If your brother,
Yeah,
all you had to do was,
You
all
had
you
to
had
talk
to do
to
was
your
put a
brother.
shirt up and put a sweater up and say, bro, I'm about to wear this out.
He
Your
know.
brother probably takes you back like,
Yeah,
yeah,
he
what the
know.
hell you doing, man? You can't wear that out.
He thought it'd be a
Like,
joke.
yeah, he
Yeah,
just thought it was gonna be cool
Yeah,
because he who he is.
Yeah, yeah.
And then people
The
were like,
average
nah,
cat ain't
bro.
doing that.
God, well, the average cat, you know, maybe someone who doesn't know about those
Yeah,
letters.
yeah,
But if you went to an HBCU or something, or even know about the letters, you would be like, bro, I ain't doing that.
Yeah.
Cause you know that's disrespect. Like, yo, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's like you out here calling yourself a capper. You be
Serious,
like, man, you crazy, bro. Like, yo, like, you out here calling, you trying to hire some chick, you call yourself a capper. bro, they don't come back to you.
And now I got to deal.
Yeah,
You gotta talk about them all, brother.
Yeah.
repercussions are gonna
Nah,
be
I
issues.
do.
So come on, man.
All
So,
good. All
Hey,
good.
fellas, thank y'all for having me.
But yeah,
That's
Doug,
some shit.
last time, man, talk about the record label you got, man, and we out here.
Alright, yeah, GTK Enterprises, that's Prizes, based out of Atlanta, got a studio, as well as Baltimore artists out here, on our way up, got a big Grammy show weekend coming up out in LA,
Good
so
luck.
we'll be out there.
listen,
Good luck
You
with
need
that.
somebody for the street team?
how can we?
That,
Yeah, I can't, cause dog, we done had this conversation. You always,
who's we?
we and you. You had this conversation on Snapchat. We had this conversation on the gram, man. You used to always send me these little flowers on the flyers. I'd be like, listen, I'm too old to go there. Like, I'm too old to be going to that place. These places that you pointed me
I'm a
to.
grown damn man.
Yeah, I'm way too grown for that. Like, I'm not showing up with that on. Like, I'm not showing up. No, I'm not coming to that. But listen, there's other things that we can help you on, that we can be a part of. If you just holler at us, bro, we can always partner up and do bigger things.
Yes, sir.
We can always keep keep everything growing as far as as far as all our organizations.
Right.
You just gotta let us know, man. Like, yo, what can we be a part of, man? Because we want to support.
Alright.
Yeah, but I'm not going to attend one of those little. I ain't gonna say little. What? Because that just means that's how
Yeah,
that.
that's more
I mean,
like-
if demoralize the means or belittles the situation, but
Belittles it, yeah.
I am too old to be a part of, to go to certain younger generation clubs in Baltimore
I got you.
or in DC too.
But the Grammy party.
But the Grammy party, I'm going there. I can fly out there.
They gonna go do the G5? And charter in the jet, we out there.
I don't need the G5.
Just give me first class.
Spirit flies out there too.
Oh, hell no.
Spirit of Southwest.
Hell
Virgin.
no. Hell no.
Virgin
Virgin
goes out there too.
Spirit? Come on, dog. No.
No, listen.
Hey,
No.
Spirit ain't that bad.
You
No,
buy
fuck
Spirit, you just upgrade your seat.
Yeah,
You just want to keep your original seat.
It's all good.
I am not going to do that.
But
But
it's all good.
For the
Listen.
price of the upgrade, you may as well. That's a different conversation.
Yeah, we'll talk about that off air, man. But look, my last rant, man, just love the ones around y'all. There's been a lot of stuff going on this week. We'll talk about it off air. But yeah, man, love the ones around y'all. Take y'all health serious. And we out, bro. We gonna ride out with, what is it? YS and Hazel, the new joint. So we gonna rock out with my man Doug's artist, man. Let's go.
Was some sweet shit. Too many niggas hating lately on some weak shit. I got some shit on my mind that I can speak with. I think about them all the time that we breathing. I can thank God I'm able to give you content. Been every problem with people I used to run with. Maybe trying all the time to keep it real with. I be running, they say I change, I don't deal with. They support me no matter what. On my kid, she been kinda crazy, kinda